Thank you for joining us on the Music Roundtable, where we attempt to chat about all things music. We are your hosts, Kim, Clint, Lyle, and Vicky. Please sit back and get into the music groove with us. Now you're laughing, of course. Now, it was my turn now to finally go to a concert.
Yes.
So I went to see Heart.
With Donna.
With Donna, yes. On March 13th.
We really wanted to be there.
Okay,
But
to be fair, we all had the opportunity
to go.
Yep.
It just didn't work out.
We all kind of sat on the fence and
Waited to the last second and then it
Then
didn't
we were
work
like,
out.
Then we all had things that came up. So I was like, nope, we're not doing it. So now we get to hear it all from you.
Which you probably heard some of it already, but
that's okay.
But that's okay. So
He
yeah,
was
like
really
I said, it was
excited about it.
yeah,
Yes.
everybody that because there's people listening, right? So
Yes.
everybody listening didn't get to hear what we already talked
exactly.
about.
That's right.
So it was Thursday, March 13th,
Yeah.
and it was at the Pacific Coliseum in Vancouver, which I haven't been to a concert there since it was 2000, and it was, of course, Def Leppard.
Of course.
It was during the ice storm,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
and I missed the opening act of Joan Jett.
That was the day I was like, I'm so glad we didn't go.
Yes.
Because it was awful. And I was like, I didn't want to drive downtown.
Yes.
We went, when was the last time we were at the Pacific Coliseum? That was like,
Well, I've been there quite a few times.
no, but the last time was Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper, I think. Yeah, the Gruesome Twosome tour.
that was a while ago.
I know. But it was
It was,
still,
it was a great tour.
it was still like not as long ago as Lyle.
No.
I can't even think of the last time I was there for
No?
a concert outside of like P&E concert.
Yeah. I don't know. Do they not do
Well, yeah,
that
I've seen
sometimes?
concerts like during the P&E outside,
Yeah.
right? But
Yeah.
nothing inside
Nothing
the
inside.
Coliseum. No.
So how was-
I go to the Coliseum almost every year because of the Larco show.
That's not for music.
I know it's not,
It's just, I
but I
think,
go there almost every year.
Yeah.
like they haven't changed it. Like it's
No.
still
No,
the
it's still the
original
same.
Coliseum
Seats.
from
Yeah.
Everything.
I
Yeah.
haven't-
when the Canucks played
1940s,
there.
I don't
Yeah.
know who knows. Is it the 1940s?
What was it, the late
don't
60s,
know.
I think? Early 70s? That
Well, now I'm curious.
I
You
know,
go- you
been there
Because
talk-
when the
Forever.
Canucks came in.
you
yeah.
talk, I'll find.
So, yeah, we go in there and it's dark. Like walking around the concourse, it was dark.
The
Really?
lights, the lights
Yeah.
aren't very good in there.
No, it was weird.
Well, yeah, I guess it is kind of darker in there, yeah.
Yeah,
I never
so-
really thought about it.
But you could just tell it was so old, but it was so cool because I had been in there to see a concert for so long. So that was a difference, I guess, from going to Rogers.
You get a little spoiled with the other places.
Oh yeah, because the seating, it's wide open. You can see the stage before you even like at
Yeah.
Rogers, you gotta go upstairs and take a look, and yeah,
It was built in 1968,
There you go.
January 8th.
I was close.
Yeah.
It was all the wood rafters
Old
and
building.
the steep stairs in the upper level. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, but
The real nosebleeds.
yeah, the real nose. But no, we sat basically across from the stage. For us, that's unusual because we're always usually sitting beside the stage.
Oh, so you were like at the other end.
Yeah, we're at the other end this time.
That's not a bad place.
No, but there was no screens, no videos of showing
Oh.
the performers, and it was like I didn't notice it
Yeah.
until about halfway through. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a
What's it?
second,
There's
there's
no
no
screens.
screens. Yeah,
But the Coliseum's not that big.
Yeah, maybe
you don't really
need
need
them.
it.
no,
Especially
no.
the way they had it set up on kind of like on the side like that, not at the far end like most arenas.
It was at the far end.
was-
I don't even think it was at the far end. It was probably
Midway.
just over midway.
Because they probably didn't have all the seats open. So I
No,
would
they
think,
didn't have all the seats open.
Yeah, so that was probably pushed
So
probably
that's what
to
they call the
3/4.
forum setup.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But I was like, no screens. This is weird because every concert I've been to lately has
had
had
screens.
screens.
Yeah.
So did you feel like you
course.
have to zoom in? I can't zoom
Well, I
in.
couldn't. You couldn't see who was performing.
Oh, yeah.
But
That's
honestly,
okay. You just
for
have to
the
get it.
opening act, Squeeze didn't really matter. You're there
No.
for the music anyway.
Yeah.
Same with Heart. You know
Yeah.
what they look like anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You're there for the music. So.
And at their age, they probably don't want
The ambiance.
Well, I was going to say, like, depending on who you're seeing, you may not need to see them necessarily.
No.
You just want to hear them.
Yeah. You're like, I have a picture in my mind's eye of what they are like. I don't
Exactly.
need to
I
see
don't
what they look like right now.
Well, the opening act, Squeeze.
Yeah.
I knew one song, which I found out from Donna that I knew.
Yeah.
Because at first I'm like, I don't know. I've never heard of the band. Like,
Yeah.
And she's like, you know the songs. I'm like,
Donna
no, I don't.
schooled you.
Oh, yeah, she did. And she played a song, Tempted. And I'm like, oh, I know that
Everybody
song.
knows that song.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh. And then she was like, oh, I didn't realize it was in 81 that song was released.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah. But that was I guess, one of 3 or something that they were big in the U.S. But
Okay.
they were bigger in the U.K. So
Of
they
course.
formed in 74 in the U.K. And I was reading up on it because I'm like, well, I got to do a little bit of research before
Sure
they
you
come on
do.
stage.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they were the Lennon-McCartney is what they were saying.
Oh,
The future, and it never
happened.
happened.
Aw.
But
Were they good though?
yeah, it was actually. Reminds me. They said they were more new wave because when they came in, but
Right.
kind of like progressive with a little bit of new wave, kind of like the ELO Electric Light Orchestra
Right.
style band. But
Gotcha.
it was good. It was entertaining. Went fast. They basically played a full concert in an hour. They played 14 songs.
They were on stage for an hour?
They were on
what
stage
the
for an
heck?
hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Usually
That's what,
nobody acts like
20,
20, 30
minutes?
minutes. Yeah.
An
So-
hour?
It was an hour.
Nice.
Wow.
I never thought I would see an accordion from a rock band or a new wave band. It's kind of expected, I guess, but
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Oh, okay.
No, you say
Yeah.
accordion, I think of Weird Al.
I totally do.
Oh yeah, but I never
100%.
thought I would see it for that. Like it's kind of like what accordion? Like really?
Are we doing a polka?
Well, yeah. Like they had the keyboards, and then another thing they're playing a guitar solo, and I'm like, but the singer's not playing the guitar solo, and I looked over, and the guy was playing a steel guitar. So I'm like, well, that was interesting.
That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
so
a
that
different
was-
sound.
It was interesting.
That's
But
good.
It was pretty. I don't know. It was just.
Relaxing. Kind of like
Yeah.
ambiance music.
It was a good.
ambiantic. What was that?
I don't know.
I don't know.
It was enjoyable. It
A new word.
It went fast.
That's our word.
I think I'd be willing to check them out. And they do have a
Okay.
new album that's being released this year.
They have a new album.
Interesting.
That they wrote when, I think it was the first few songs that they wrote when they were 16 or something like that, 16, 18 years old. And they never had an opportunity to release it back then. So they finally,
Doing it now.
Released
Doing
it.
it now.
Well,
Interesting.
that's so interesting. Good for them.
yeah. So
I was going to say, yeah, for a band that's that old. To
Yeah. 74
be
or so.
raised.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
yeah.
goodness.
So
Hey,
Different-
Crazy.
we were born in 74.
I know.
Just saying,
but
that's
know
what
that
I
that's-
mean. Like,
like, how old are they then? They've got to be like.
and they were
they're
already
in their late
you know,
60s. Yeah.
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 So,
Lisa, good
something
for
that
them.
I was not expecting and
But
enjoyed
those are
it.
kind of fun when you have ones like that.
It was. And when-
See what happens when you go in without expectations
right.
and not
And not
knowing
looking at the
every
set
single
list.
thing,
Yes.
what's going to happen.
and I didn't look at the set list.
Hold on. We got to.
wait,
Wait.
wait. You said you did
Didn't?
not?
I did not look at the set
Wow.
list for Heart.
I am
Nope.
shocked. I mean, we did rib you about it before, but you know.
I was going to say, that's probably Donna's influence on it because she's
put
probably
that phone
slap
in.
him upside the head like, you don't need to know.
No, you kind of know. You know what songs they're going to play.
Of course.
I've seen them once before,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
But
Let's
each
go
tour
in.
is different.
It's not like name dropping. I've seen them once before.
Sure.
Yeah, right?
which I did see at the PNE, but it was outside.
It's outside.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but that was, yeah.
Well, I'm proud of you for not
Me
checking
too.
it beforehand because it's nice to have a surprise of what's going to happen
I
next.
guarantee you, if you look at his phone, he has the set list now.
Of course he does.
Oh, yeah. I
do.
saw it when
You
I was
do.
looking at things too, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
after the fact.
That's
It was
okay after the
that I
fact.
looked it up.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's just you don't want it before.
Sorry, I have a cat underneath me.
So, do you want to go into a little bit about Heart? Like
Sure.
you've been reading up on.
Yeah,
Hearts.
quickly I was reading up
Yeah.
on and so was Vicky.
Well, they
and
did say that even during the concert that Vancouver was kind of their
their home.
second
right?
home.
Yeah.
That's where they started their career off.
Yep.
They dodged the draft
Oh yeah.
back in the
Let's
early
read that, 'cause
70s.
that was crazy.
Yeah, that was what, 70.
73, I think it.
yeah, I think it was 73. What did I read
Just took
earlier?
the name.
So,
Just waiting for this.
Mike Fisher, Roger's brother,
There it is. Yep.
was set to be drafted into the Army. Nancy Wilson has stated that when he did not report for duty, his home was raided.
Oh.
He slipped out a rear window, escaped to Canada, and became a Vietnam War, quote, draft dodger. One day in 71 or 72, okay, so a little bit earlier, Mike crossed the border to visit his family and by chance met Anne at a Hocus Pocus show. Hocus Pocus was apparently Whiteheart.
It was
Yes.
one of their original names
Yeah.
or
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
Like they went through several name changes.
Army to White Heart.
This
They
was
were-
all before the Wilson sisters were even involved in the band.
Yeah, because it
Yeah.
says they went from Army to White Heart after Herman Hesse novel before finally settling on Heart in 1973.
So they were basically formed in 1973.
Yeah.
And they recorded, which was in the 80s, Mushroom Studios.
Yes,
in
Mushroom
Granville-
Studios, yeah.
Granville Island. So, and that's where they recorded their first LP, which was Dreamboat Annie.
Oh yeah, because I was reading something about that because the art for it was done by Emily Carr, somebody at the Emily Carr Institute
Oh, really?
did the album. Yeah, I don't know specifically which artist, but they were at the Emily Carr art studio,
Oh,
and that's so.
there we go. And they did do a couple of songs off the album, which was Dreamboat Annie. I think they did that acoustically. Crazy on You and Magic Man. So it was cool.
It was cool.
It was cool. Those
How was
worth saying,
how was
and
the
I was
show
like,
out?
it was cool.
like they're such an iconic band. Their songs are so well known.
And they're rooted in our area, which is kind of,
Yeah,
that helps too,
Well,
right?
A band that big.
It was cool because of the fact that they were in Vancouver and they were hanging out with like Mike Reno of Loverboy and stuff. Like they all kind of came up together and stuff. And it's
Yeah.
like, yes, they're a Seattle band, but
They
at the
did a
same
lot
time,
here. They
they
did
were
a
a
lot.
Vancouver
They were a
band.
Vancouver
They
band,
are, and-
exactly.
Well, they did a lot up here, right? That was,
Yeah.
Well, now it almost seems like they're more well known of doing Led Zeppelin covers than
Really?
Yeah, 'cause she said they did a couple of those too,
yeah,
right?
which was a shocker. So they did an acoustic, 3-song set, and Nancy actually did her solo for Eddie Van Halen,
Oh,
the
really?
one she wrote after he passed. So it was for Eddie, is what it was, and it was just her. It was very well done, but it was funny because Donna was like, she kind of elbowed me, and I got the phone out because I knew what was coming next after she elbowed me. But
Yeah.
they covered "Going to California" by Led Zeppelin,
Oh, nice.
and it actually
Nice.
shocked me, and it was amazing, amazing to hear that because I was not expecting that. So nice not seeing the set list beforehand.
I was going to say again.
That's what it is, right? Because then you get the goosebumps and you get the thrill, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
I was like, couldn't take the
It's not as
smile
much
off my
fun
face
when you go in
Yeah.
knowing what they're going to play in what
No.
order and whatnot. So
No, because then you don't have
Lesson be learned.
Yeah,
Exactly. It was too bad that Anne was in a
not
wheelchair
feeling well. Yeah.
because apparently she fell about a week before the tour was supposed to start and wrecked up her arm. And basically she was in the wheelchair to support her arm is basically
Oh,
what
wow.
it was. And so if you're a singer, you know what it's like. It's hard to sing sitting down.
Yeah. Because you
Very
can't get
much
that
so,
full
yeah.
air
You
into
need
you,
that
right?
proper
Yeah.
posture.
It didn't matter.
No, she was good.
You could tell she was struggling, just
Yeah.
age-wise, but she knew when she couldn't hit the high notes, so she almost let us or the background singers sing it. But amazing though, she still has it even at
Of
that
course.
age. Like it was kind of lost for words, which is unusual. It was.
We're doing a
was the perfect
podcast
song.
and he's lost for words.
I know.
This is not good.
It was the perfect concert. It was the perfect set list. It was the way they did the songs. Like it gave them time to take a break, and yeah, it just a couple of the songs I wasn't expecting when they started off alone, and then they did the solo, and then they did the solo for "What About Love," and went into "What About Love," and then ended with "Alone." It was kind of a mashup of the two
That's
biggest
really good.
songs, basically from
Yeah.
the '80s, and yeah, the encore. Another surprise that I did not expect was they did another Zeppelin cover, and it was "The Ocean." And yeah, the guitars got really heavy, and because they finished off with Barracuda,
All good stuff.
it was yeah, there was a set list that every song just flowed perfectly to the next, to
Yeah.
the next, to the next, and yeah.
Did they play anything that you had wanted to hear specifically, or was it just a really good mix?
Just a good mix.
Yeah.
I knew that the songs that they were going to play
Yeah.
just pretty easy.
Yeah.
But it was just when were they going to play it, and
And how's
Yeah.
it going to sound?
yeah,
Yeah.
and the band that they have with them now, amazing.
Right. Their backup.
Yeah, yeah, amazing guitar players. Just
Yeah, and I would assume like the reason for having the Zeppelin influence or Zeppelin songs in there is because at a certain time they actually collaborated with John Paul Jones.
yeah, and
Yeah, I had it up here or whatever. The Road Home album, they actually collaborated with John
Okay.
Paul Jones, and you have that album.
I do.
You do.
Okay, just to be fair, I have a lot of albums,
Yeah.
and I
But
don't
Clint knows
remember this.
all of
He
them.
does. I'll be like, "Do I have this?" And he'll be like, "Yes" or "No," because I don't actually know. Really,
I can't remember half the
I
ones I have
don't.
either.
Yeah. Huh, interesting. I'll
Like-
have to listen to it.
Now, I'm not sure if it's on CD or cassette, but I'm pretty sure you do have that album.
We do have a lot on cassette that we need to change over. Yes, that would be why I wouldn't know. Right, just like you said, I have Jamie Walters, and I totally forgot I had
That
Jamie
one's cassette.
Walters, and it's a cassette.
well, I think I only own one Heart record, and that was their comeback in the '80s.
Yeah.
Heart. Yeah,
Yeah, I think I have like a greatest hits album or something of theirs.
yeah.
So I didn't realize they're the first female-fronted hard rock band, so they paved the way for all the women.
Yes.
I thought it
Yeah.
was somebody else that was the first.
Well, the Runaways would have been at the same time. Or actually,
Yeah.
Runaways would have been. No, Runaways should have been before them.
Or around the same time.
But then, like that.
well,
also,
this is like they started in what 1969, I think. So no, 67. This one did Heart.
Yeah. So yeah,
So would they have been the first? I guess
I'm not
so.
sure.
But yeah, no, they definitely would have been pioneers on that. I knew that for sure because like at that time you're like, women leading a rock band, but yeah, it did pave the way. And then, like I said, Runaways was the other one that you would have had, and from Runaways you got Joan Jett and
Yeah.
Lita Ford would have come out of that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Interesting. I mean, they're powerful women, no matter what way you look at
Well-
it. The way that they started everything and kept going. So,
Especially Nancy Wilson's guitar playing.
oh my gosh, she's amazing.
Like she can compete with anybody.
Yeah,
And Anne's voice.
yeah.
Like when she performed Stairway to Heaven for the Zeppelin.
Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Nope. No, Trump just did something.
We don't want to talk about
Don't
Cheeto.
even start.
Yeah.
That'll be a
it's
whole
where
other
they had-
podcast.
Presidents always bring in artists and they do a celebration every year in the
Oh.
US.
I don't know what that is.
Inauguration.
I can't remember, but Zeppelin was in the audience and they do a bunch of basically songs from that band to whoever.
Oh, so they wanted
they
them
did
there. Okay.
Stairway to Heaven.
Wow.
Yeah. And Plant was just like in tears, and yeah, Jimmy Page is watching the guitar player, and Jason Bonham played, which is obviously the son of John Bonham. So yeah, that
He's one of my favorite drummers.
there you go. So to play those tracks, which I think led to the reunion of Zeppelin at the O2 Arena. I think that's where it all, or either I can't remember the order, but yeah. So I think Heart had their resurgence too in the 80s.
Oh yeah, they've had a few. It
Definitely.
says.
right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
70s, and then when they were with the Heart album, that's when they changed the band and did all that. And
And the 90s, didn't they have a really good jump too? Because I swear that's
it almost
where-
seems like every decade they have a
they,
jump.
yeah, because I swear that's when I heard most of their songs again was the 90s. But
And now they're getting a resurgence now with commercials and
Yeah.
with What About Love, and yeah.
Yeah.
But half of the original band that played with Heart went on to with Alias.
oh, Alias.
Yes. So there's 3 members of Heart and 2 members of Sheriff that formed Alias.
Oh, I just you know what? This
Oh.
is so funny. I didn't even see this because you're talking about trying to figure out what that thing was in the States.
Yeah.
It was on my list here that I was reading.
Oh.
So the Stairway to Heaven tribute.
Yeah.
They performed a stirring rendition of Led Zeppelin's Stairway to Heaven at the Kennedy Center
That's what
Opera
it was.
House.
I should have known.
When
that.
Led Zeppelin
Kennedy.
bandmates received Kennedy Center honors.
That's what it was. Yes.
I was just like, that must be what you were talking about.
Yes. That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
I was like, I
Crazy.
could see it. I just couldn't.
Think what it, yeah,
Think what
say
it
the
was,
word.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah. Yeah. Like, I don't know what else there is to say about it. Like, it was overall
It was good.
definitely
Worth
worth it.
it.
Like, I would advise because I don't know how much time they have left touring wise.
Go
If
see
you
them
have
if
a
they come.
chance.
Well, see
Go see 'em.
that is
That's
where
why-
we were all humming and hawing. Like we
We gotta
all
go
did
again.
want to go.
Yeah.
If they came back again, I will go see him again.
Yeah, it was just hard because we'd already seen so many in the same month already, and I was just kind of like, you don't want to say the word concert out, but you're just kind of like, I just want to be home.
Well, we are going to
bit.
another one in a couple
I
weeks.
know this
That's
is
good.
just it. So
Yeah.
I mean, it's been a pretty busy concert time in
I
the
got
last couple
back
months.
to back
Yeah,
coming
Right?
up at the end of the night,
Yeah.
end of the month.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I mean, yeah, it was just one more. It was another one, but yeah, we want to see them
yeah,
if things ever.
I'm going to play
Get
the doggy
clear.
card on my excuse to not go.
Well, that's just it, and that's why I was kind of said like, okay, well, it's good that we didn't do it
Yeah.
because there was a reason because
Yeah.
Daisy wasn't well, so
And the ticket prices were not actually that bad. So
No, they
No, they weren't.
weren't. Because I
Which
saw
was
some for like
unusual,
45 and then the seat charges or whatever. And I was like, that's not bad.
Yeah, I think I paid just over $100 each or something like that.
Yeah.
Which, considering for Ticketmaster, well, it was
was
actually
Ticket Leader.
It was Ticket
Yeah.
Leader, which is different,
Yeah.
but which was I
Same-
think their only
same.
concert that they had Ticket Leader. But I think
Yeah.
that's at the Coliseum as
Because it was like
Ticket Leader.
$21, but I think $21 in fees on the ticket.
Yeah, it was
Something like
20,
that,
it was-
yeah.
yeah. Like most of the ones like in the upper bowl were 55
Yeah.
plus the 22 service
Yeah.
fee.
So you're looking at about 79,
And
80
then
bucks.
there was
Yeah.
certain sections that I looked at because I was looking at everything, and it was there was a couple that were actually 45 if you went really
Really far
high up
back.
in the
Yeah.
nosebleeds. It was 45 and $21 for your service fee.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the most expensive seat was probably
Which
the
is
floor or
just
something. It was
The
like
floor.
$200
Yeah,
or something.
48% for a service fee.
Yeah.
Just-
No.
no.
Which I
Not
thought
happening.
48%.
for a band of this caliber,
Well, yeah.
which is not bad.
No,
Yeah.
not bad at all.
No, but for an evening out, like
And it
that's-
was
I know.
a 3-hour
And
3-hour
Nancy,
concert.
if you're listening, do a live intimate show. Go to the
Commodore,
Commodore, or
yeah.
Yes.
Orpheum
That
or
would be amazing.
That would be phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's just do an acoustic set.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
That would be the dream.
That would be amazing.
When
Yeah.
like the 3 songs that I saw, I was just like, oh yeah, they would just be amazing. The
Yeah.
whole band, they were just sitting there, just right in front. Even the drummer had a little kit, and it was just all of them right up front. And I'm like, okay,
Perfect.
can we just have the whole night like that?
yeah.
Just acoustic. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're good. Just to hear the voice
Yeah.
of both.
Yeah.
Like Nancy can.
Oh,
hold
yeah,
her
she
own.
can sing.
Oh, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, Anne is the supreme, but
Yeah.
Nancy,
Well,
with the 2 of them,
They
Yeah.
did.
worked
They did
so
a
well.
side project or something at one point too. They changed. They had another band.
well, they did. The 2 sisters split up.
Yes, but they also didn't. They have another. I read they had another band together to do different music, but they also broke up. I don't want. Yeah.
Yes.
Recently, the last so many years.
Yeah, because I think this was the back together. I guess they were supposed to tour last year, but Anne was the cancer. that
but
dealt
it was.
with that.
They broke up previous.
It
to
was
that,
previous to
right?
that. I think it was like 3 or 4 years that they weren't talking.
Yeah, they weren't talking. Yeah.
Yeah. So we never thought if. I
that
think
it
it was
might be
right after
time.
the Kennedy
The Kennedy thing.
thing. Yeah, that's when it went downhill from there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the other band that it said. I read something and I was like, they had a second band. Like, it's weird.
But
It's entirely possible because like lots of people do that, and then like some, just the total gear shift to their careers is they choose a different venue. Like one that comes to mind easily would be Lee Aaron because she had her old rock career, and then as she got older, she wanted to try like lounge music, jazz music, or whatever, and she made a huge success in that as well. So
and now she's back to doing rock music, which it's really good. I've actually heard that, but yeah, but that paved the way, like you said,
Yeah.
for female artists to.
yeah, like
Was-
in the early 80s, there was actually a lot of artists that did come out, or a lot of female artists that did come out and definitely dominated or whatever. But you trace it back, Hart would have been one of the pioneers.
Yeah, definitely.
Sorry, so I found it. Hart spent several years in the late 1990s on temporary hiatus as the Wilson sisters worked on other projects, including together in a new group, the Lovemongers. The band toured occasionally without Nancy Wilson, adding lead guitarist Frank Cox, rhythm guitarist Scott Olson, bassist John Bayless, and drummer Ben Smith. They had another project together as well called the Lovemongers. I've not heard of them.
Okay, it's funny you say that because for the encore, they played Sand, which I was wondering, it was a Love Mongers cover. And I'm like, I've never heard of that band.
Oh, that's so
It's
funny.
them.
That's the one I was talking about.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And aren't there groupies, not groupies, what would you call them? But aren't they called the Love Mongers? That's what I've heard.
I don't know, but that's...
Heart fans.
I was
Heart
just
bands,
writing it down,
yeah.
and I'm like, Love Mongers, who the
heck is
is
that?
that? And it was their
Surprise!
own. They covered their own.
That's awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
That's when you know you've made it. You cover your own side projects.
Well, why
right?
not, right?
Right?
Yeah.
That reminds me of your other band and their opening act, Dead Flatbird.
Yeah. Def Leppard, yes. And they redid all their... Yeah.
His other band. You're so funny.
They were a Death Leppard cover band with the members of Death Leppard.
Yeah.
And they changed their names for that specific... Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they played stuff that they normally wouldn't play, but
Right.
yeah.
That's fair.
That's...
I like it.
That was... Yeah.
We're gonna have to listen to that because
Right.
I don't know if I know any of their songs from that, but it'd be interesting to kind of delve into their side projects and hear those songs.
Yeah, I'm curious as well now.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you guys read, Vancouver Sun did a review after the concert.
Oh.
So
okay.
just like speaking of, how strong both Anne and Nancy are.
Right.
One of the paragraphs in the article says, the longer the show went, the stronger Anne's voice became, particularly on a more poppy take on their hit Straight On. The acoustic mini set with Dog and Butterfly, Dreamboat Annie, and Going to California was a highlight for vocal harmonies, which were often hidden in a muddy mix. When guitarist Nancy Wilson took a turn on lead vocals for These Days, everyone was reminded that Heart is blessed with two strong singers who can really play off one another in the big arena power ballads like Alone and What About Love.
Perfect. They got a good review.
Yeah.
So it's like what you said, but it was just a little more elaborate than it's cool.
Pretty much. Maybe I should really work on this. Yeah. Yeah, her voice did get stronger.
Yeah.
You could tell.
Yeah.
And it was a terrible mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they persevered and her voice did get stronger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
definitely.
good.
And by the time that acoustic set came and when she sang Going to California, it was like, yeah, okay.
She was belting.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that happens in a lot of shows is just because as the audience involvement and stuff
Ramps
like this,
up.
the energy builds up, so it actually gets them jacked
Exactly.
up on stage.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. The endorphins are flowing.
The audience was definitely into it. Oh, that wasn't so cool. So
Here we go. See,
so,
cool.
no, so everybody holds up their cell phones for the light, right?
Yeah.
Right.
We actually saw about 4 or 5 people with actual lighters.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, right?
It was,
Nice.
I've been
it was
seeing
one
that more
person
and
just
more.
in one
I've seen
section
that.
over, and we're
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
oh my God.
Official.
Yeah.
Come
I think
on.
Donna took a photo of it. Just
Well, yeah, I think the last couple we went to, there's been lighters, and I was like, about time people went back to
Went back
original
to-
because the
yeah.
cell phone's just not the
It's not the same.
no.
You don't get burned. Your thumb
Yeah,
doesn't get hot. You don't have the experience when it's your cell phone,
Yeah.
and the light just doesn't look the same.
And the crowd was singing, not standing until Barracuda, and the crowd, that's when they all stood up. And there's some people dancing in their seats, and yeah.
Yeah, the article mentioned that too, that there wasn't a standing ovation until like Barracuda started.
I think everybody was really, I think they were just taking it all in. Like it was just more of a, you got to sit back, you got to listen, hearing Anne, and then realizing, wow. And then at the end you hear Barracuda and you're like, damn, it's over. And you got to see,
We want more.
and that was the thing, like they got to the encore and Anne's like, that's it, we're done. That's all we have for you. And then she's like, oh yeah, right, we got to do the encore now. Like she didn't leave.
No, there's no point.
Yeah, she just sit there and we were all cheering and
Nice.
yeah, and then they came
Take
on.
it all in. Why not? Right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
I think they were taking it all in because they were
And it's like a hometown show, right?
Yeah.
well, yeah, they brought that up.
Yeah.
That this
Yeah.
is feels like we're coming home.
Yeah.
This is where we basically got our start.
Yeah.
And they
Nice.
mentioned Mushroom Studios just
Yeah.
on Granville Island, and
Yeah.
which they mentioned, and
Aw.
That's cool.
I think everybody realized that it could be their last time here.
It could
We
be.
don't know, and I think they
Enjoy
deserve
it for what it is.
And even at the end of the show, they were just standing there, just like, wow.
yeah.
Yeah, they were like, thank you for a great night, and I actually follow Anne on Facebook, and she even said that too.
Yeah.
Like, thank you for a great night, Vancouver.
Amazing.
Yeah. And I think that's the only one that she's posted, because I haven't seen much about any of the other shows.
The other shows.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, that article finishes off with anyone who didn't come in time to see Squeeze really missed out. Paired with Heart, it was an evening of very dissimilar but still complementary veteran acts rocking hard.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
And then it mentions their tour continues across Canada through April.
Yeah. 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 There's 3 bands that are opening up for Heart, and we just happened to get squeezed on that. So
okay.
it was cool. Like,
Wasn't there something where Hart was supposed to be with Def Leppard? Like this was an in American tour.
yeah, it
or
was.
something.
They were supposed to play in Toronto last year,
That's what it was.
and Cheap Trick
Yeah.
opened up for Def Leppard in Seattle.
Seattle, yeah.
And I almost went to Toronto, but didn't, because I was like, oh, cool, get to see Heart. That would be cool. And that's when they canceled because of the cancer diagnosis on it.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Squeeze, Cheap Trick, and Lucinda Williams
Yeah.
are the 3 opening acts.
Yeah. It'd been cool to see Cheap Trick, but seeing Squeeze, it was not a band that I would normally go to.
Yeah.
So to have them as an opening act, it was like, okay, I want to check them out now.
Well, that's actually some of the benefits of some of the opening acts is, the artists, kind of choose these acts, bring them in, and it may not be the same music, but you get that experience of someone who you wouldn't normally go and see, but now that you've seen, like now you're going to follow into it and look more into the bands and stuff.
Yeah, I was tapping my foot the whole time, like just basically just going along with the music and just enjoying it, and not necessarily. I don't know any of the songs. I only knew one, "Tempted," but still enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, that's
Yeah.
good. It went fast.
That's when you know
That's
it's
always
good.
a good song.
Yeah.
It's a good sign, right?
Yeah.
That it went fast. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
And then Heart was over before I even knew it, and I was like, damn.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's when you know that's a good one.
Yeah.
Because it's over and you want more.
Yep. And
Believe you wanting
So
more.
I wanted more.
big question. I know it's at the Coliseum, so I have an idea when it would have finished. So what time did the concert finish?
11 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So doors opened up at 7.
Yeah.
Squeeze came on at 8.
Yeah, that's about
Heart
right.
finished
Which is
off at
so
11.
weird, 'cause
and then we
what-
came outside and we saw the eclipse.
Nice.
Perfect.
Towards the end. Towards the
Nice.
end. Yeah.
Because when I was looking for tickets, I thought on Ticket Leader it said 6:30.
That the doors opened? Or
No,
that it started?
that it started.
Oh.
So then when Lyle messaged and said they're just coming on stage, and I'm like,
Didn't
but
start? Yeah.
wasn't it supposed to start like an hour ago?
Oh,
Something like
yes,
that,
they had it
whatever.
wrong on this thing. Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah, because we got the tickets like a couple of days beforehand.
Yeah.
And I was curious too. I'm like, well, what time did it? And it was like, oh, doors open up at 7. Oh, okay. Perfect.
Yeah.
Weird.
And then show starts at 8, and it started 8
Like
o'clock on the
8.
nose. Like Squeeze came on like right at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And it was basically, I'd say pretty close to 3/4 full when Squeeze was on.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So they played to a full house, and they almost had kind of a better lighting show almost than Heart. But yeah.
Well, and
Overall.
because they played for an hour, people would definitely have seen them. Because usually people try and skip the.
And there was
skip the
only a
opening
few
band,
stragglers
yeah.
in our section. I
Yeah.
think there was 4 or 5 people that came in for Heart
Yeah.
Yeah.
at that time, but
Yeah.
Yeah, some of those places, that's the merch line or the beer line. That's why you don't get to your seat right
Yeah,
away.
exactly.
But that, they played
yeah.
an hour,
well,
so you
actually,
got
the
to.
debit wasn't working when everybody got there right away, so
Oh,
nobody
well, that
could
doesn't
buy
help either.
anything. And
Oh,
just before Squeeze came on, we heard a cheer, and that meant that okay, the debits are
the debit's working.
Did you guys buy anything, or did you skip the merch table?
skipped the merch.
Yeah.
Donna went and looked, and she's like, "Huh, that's a nice T-shirt, $60."
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, no.
That's a T-shirt I wanted, but yeah, $60 is.
No.
Yeah,
I have a hard time paying 45, let alone 60.
Yeah.
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 60 is not bad. I've seen worse.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
there was a
have
huge-
seen worse. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a huge lineup because of where they were selling it. So you basically came in the main doors, and it was on either side, right at the very end, right?
You know,
Well,
I would
admittedly,
like.
at the Coliseum, there's not really a lot of
There
space to
isn't.
put merch tables and stuff like
No.
that.
I just
it's
wish
so
there was a
old,
way
right?
that you could, or that they should start doing it, where you can buy your merch ahead of time when you buy your tickets, and they send it to you.
Right?
So
So,
that
that
you
you
can-
can wear it to the
To the-
event?
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
Nickelback's done
Some
that.
places sell them
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
I know when we saw Leopard in Portland, they were selling merch outside.
Yeah, it just would be nice.
Some
'cause
of
then you
those may
have
not
it
be
already.
registered people selling
No.
outside.
Oh, they were. They had the whole Def Leppard trailer, like it was Def Leppard Journey trailer, like it was all.
okay.
It was all.
It was legit.
Because I was gonna
Yeah.
say, because I actually one of my old Death Leopard jerseys. Yeah, no, that was $10, and it was just someone who made it up, but it looked cool. So
No,
I
this
bought
had
it.
the whole.
Oh, I remember you buying that on the side of the road. Yeah, mhm. But I don't think it was Def Leppard.
This had
I
the
think it
whole
was
Def Leppard
Aerosmith.
trailer, the Journey trailer. It
Aerosmith?
was.
No, that one was the Death Leopard one.
But yeah.
Yeah,
But overall, like they said in the paper, or
yeah.
Yeah, it was the
right
Vancouver
up,
Sun. Yeah.
Vancouver Sun. Yeah, if you
Worth
missed it,
You suck.
it's too bad.
Damn.
Honestly, it's too bad. And there wasn't much.
Just rub some dirt in that
Right,
wound. Yeah.
exactly.
No, like-
Thanks, dude.
Now our
There
film was
wasn't
off the
much.
chart.
Probably because I had the tickets already, so I wasn't really aware of the advertising. I don't know if
Yeah.
there was a lot of advertising for it.
Don't
I
know.
don't know. Maybe on certain stations.
Like I heard about it, and then I'm like, yeah, okay, I want to go, and then
Yeah,
I
see,
think I
'cause
got
oh, yeah,
a couple
gotta look it
emails
up, and
from
then
like
boom,
Rock
and that was
101
it.
that mentions
Yeah.
like
I
there
think
was
the first
upcoming
time I actually
concerts,
heard
but-
is when he mentioned he was going. That was actually the first time I heard. Obviously,
Yeah.
I saw it after because all of a sudden I look into it.
Yeah.
But prior to that
Yeah.
was the first I even heard that they were
Oh,
coming to
Jack,
town.
I think Jack talked about it on
I
the
don't
radio.
listen to the radio that often.
No, neither do
Yeah,
I. But
me
in the
neither.
car, when you hear it, right? Like I'm pretty sure they mention her.
like I'm sure Jack would say it, 101 would say it. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about CFox.
No, Seafox wouldn't say
It all
so.
depends on the station that's presenting it. Like sometimes they cross over and they'll
Right.
present. They'll
Exactly.
multiple radio stations will present it.
I
but
just
otherwise-
find lately it's not even that they're presenting it; they're just talking about what's going on in town.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where I've heard
That's
a lot
the
of them
advertising?
lately. Yeah,
You might see it on a billboard,
Billboard,
and,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
that's about it. Or on a Facebook feed or something if you follow them or whatever. That's how I found out about it because I follow Hart and
Yeah.
Wilson and Nancy Wilson. So
I say, I know you probably want to wrap this up, but I was just like looking through their tour dates. And so on the 11th, they were in Spokane. The 13th, they were obviously here in Vancouver. 14th, they went back down to Portland.
yeah,
Oh,
And then they're coming up to Calgary this week.
that's so weird.
Like,
That's
why
so
would you not
bouncy.
go Spokane to Portland, then up to Vancouver?
Yeah, that would make
That
way
seems
more
weird.
sense.
And
Yeah.
then Calgary and so on and so
Hey,
forth.
how much are flights to Calgary?
Calgary, Edmonton on the 21st, Winnipeg on the 24th.
Not going to Winnipeg.
no, right now
No.
it's too cold.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
But yeah, I'd do Calgary.
I do
Edmonton.
Calgary. Yeah. Yeah. Cheap
Yeah.
flights. Go for the night.
Yeah,
When are they in Calgary?
In 5 days, so you have time to
5
book.
days.
remember we're seeing Glass
Yeah.
Tiger at the end of the month.
I know. That's what I'm saying. There's just been so many concerts for us lately. I'm just like, they're all kind of headed at the same time here.
Yeah.
So,
And now that I've been to a couple over the last little bit, yeah, I want to go to
I want to
more.
go more. Yeah.
yeah.
It's just, it's enjoyable. It's a good night out, and
Yeah.
yeah. And now, like even seeing an opening band that I never
Didn't
really paid
really,
attention
yeah.
to, I'm like, cool. I want to see more opening bands. I want to see,
Mm-hmm.
even seeing Nickelback and the country artists. I'm like, oh, that wasn't bad. They weren't really country. Okay, this is good. I want to
Yeah,
hear more.
it's different now.
It's different, and the bands are good, and yeah, you don't have.
We have
any-
more money to burn than we did at one time. That's the other thing.
That's
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. So that's
It's like we can afford to go to concerts again.
thing.
Some of them,
Sort of.
Some of them, I'm like, yeah, hell no, I'm not paying that much.
Yeah.
And it depends on the artist too. Like
It totally does.
who's coming and
Well, yes,
I
it's-
would really have loved to see Pink when she was here, but I was not paying that amount
No,
of money.
I
see,
know.
that's the thing, right?
too.
That's-
Yeah.
She wanted to go to that
Yeah.
one as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah.
I was ready to
No.
pay whatever price
I
to
said,
get it.
put your card away. Then you're not paying that much for a ticket to a concert.
it's unfortunate
yeah.
that prices are so high, but that's
We'll get into that
We'll
later,
get into
too.
that later.
Yes, we will.
Like obviously that one's service fees, but like with the Pink, it's also her whole stage
oh
production
yeah,
and
like
stuff.
I
It's-
understand
Totally,
that. Right?
yeah.
It's a different situation with that, but
Anyway,
Anyway,
like I said, story for another day.
but yes,
absolutely
5 stars. Yeah, 5
5
stars.
stars?
Yeah,
perfect.
sure.
Amazing.
Yep. And 2 weeks we'll see another one that's about that much too. So
Yeah,
we'll
it
be
was
a
a real,
5-star.
it was a good price for that one. Yeah.
Yes, it was.
So guaranteed.
Unless Helen Fruit shits the bed, that'd be hilarious.
I doubt you will.
I
No,
doubt he will
I
too.
doubt he
I'm looking forward to seeing that one. But
Yeah. So we'll see.
All right.
But anyway, yeah. So if you have a chance to see Hart, go see them.
Go see 'em. Enjoy it.
Once again,
Actually,
salt
we
in
might
the
be
wound
the.
here.
I'm gonna put this downer on it. We might be the last generation to see them.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
So
100%.
yeah, try to see whoever bands you want to see, especially now.
Anybody's in those age groups.
I was gonna say anybody
That
who's
season of their
older,
life.
Bite the
an older
bullet.
band.
Yeah.
If you haven't
Do
seen
it.
them, go see it. Yeah.
Search them out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the older
Where,
bands.
where was this talk? A week ago.
Well, he didn't even ask us if we wanted to go. He just bought the tickets. So, like, whatever.
Yeah. True story.
And with that, we'll catch you on the B-side.
Thank you for joining us on the Music Roundtable. Please like and comment where you listen to the podcast, and make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. You can also find us on Facebook and Twitter, and let us know what you'd like us to talk about. Until next time.